Live look over Vatican City, where today marks a significant moment for the global Catholic community. The conclave will officially begin in just a couple of hours. Cardinals from around the world are in the Sistine Chapel to elect the next pope, as all eyes are on the Vatican. But what does this sacred tradition mean, and what can we expect in the coming days? So back with us this morning, we have Father Rhett Williams from St. Thomas More to help us understand the spiritual weight of this moment and also follow the steps of the conclave. Father Williams, thank you so much for being here.
So good to be back.
Yes, back to be
Yes,
here.
I
All
love
right.
it.
So right now, I believe that they were just in a mass a couple of hours ago.
They
So
were.
what's the process, especially today, and when does the voting actually begin?
Yeah, so there's a special mass that starts, so our time, somewhere around 4:30 this morning,
Yeah.
and they've been in St. Peter's, and it's a special mass that starts, it's for the election of a pope.
Okay.
So they'll finish up this part, and then this afternoon, they'll head it for us this morning around 10:30, they'll actually enter into the Sistine Chapel. There's an initial vote, kind of, sometimes they say symbolic, a tipping of the hat of some of the senior electors. And then really tomorrow morning, after their morning mass, that's when things get real.
So are we going to be expecting to see any type of smoke today, even with the first vote, or?
We shouldn't. Normally the second ballot is the one that is burned. So they take the two ballots and they burn them together, and they'll add a chemical to it to make sure that it's, if it's not, no one's elected, it'll be black. And then if someone is elected, that's when you'll see the famous white smoke.
So for us here, are there any forefront runners, like, or any eyes on certain people that we should be seeing? Anybody?
Well, they call them the papabili, like the popables.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like their name
Okay.
for them. Or in old times they call them the preferiti, the preferred ones. There's a famous phrase that says, if you go into conclave, pope, you come out a cardinal. So it's this,
Ooh,
if people expect
okay.
you to be the one, so there's the front runners, and then it's kind of like the Kentucky Derby recently. Like then there's some that kind of sneak up on you. And,
Interesting.
yeah, so there's a couple dark horse characters that people are watching, but it really is anyone's, you never know exactly who it may be.
So I know we were talking about a little bit earlier, sometimes it takes, especially with Pope Francis, it doesn't take too long, but then a couple of years ago, it took almost 2 years. That's not going to happen.
No. Normally, so the last three have been 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
So it's within a couple days. So if we were following recent tradition, by Friday,
Really?
Saturday at the latest, you'd probably have a new man in white. So,
Wow.
but there was one in the 13th century. So actually the word conclave comes from the conclave, which is with key. And the people and army of Rome actually surrounded the papal residence because after 2 years they hadn't elected anyone. So they locked them in, and they actually took off the roof and said,
Oh.
we're going to put you in the elements until you give us a pope.
Didn't you also say they all, with food as well?
Yeah, they
It
would
was that
restrict
moment.
water and food, and when the electors, the cardinals, realized they were serious, they had to get down to business.
Well, I think that's
I think
something
so.
after
I
2
think so.
years there too.
Yeah.
So for this process with 24 to 48 hours, really what can we expect at this point? How many times will we be seeing those ballots, or how many times will we be seeing the smoke?
So they'll be taking 4 ballots a day. They'll take 4 votes a day. So 2 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And so after the 2 in the morning, there'll be smoke. And then the 2, and then there'll be smoke again. So that's kind of the consistent nature. So we'll be watching. But now I think everything's so in the moment, we'll know the times in which to expect the smoke. That's when there's a certain hour of the morning and a certain hour of the afternoon where all the cameras turn on the one chimney to see is it white, is it black, is it white?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you do know that there is a live stream that is currently happening right now
Yeah,
that
doesn't
shows,
surprise
it does show the
Yeah.
smoke there.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we're going to be seeing you in the next couple of days.
I hope so. I hope it doesn't take very long. I told my people at St. Thomas More, I was like, I expect by Sunday Mass to have a name back in our prayers for the Bishop of Rome. So it's an exciting time. This doesn't happen just a few times in actual history of a person's life.
Exactly.
So we're excited.
All righty. Well, we'll definitely have you back on to kind of talk about what the
Great.
next steps are when he is elected.
Very good. Look forward to it.
Awesome. All right, Father Williams, thank you so much again for stopping by.
Thank you, Christy.
Always appreciate you. All right, everyone, we got some travel troubles that are continuing out of